And from S1's play the entire night I've seen him, he's like, this is an S that is on a level that I've really never seen before. Like,
yeah, we don't. I believe we only have like maybe like 2 or 3 Nest talents here in Chicago. So
yeah, and really the only one that's kind of had any prominence has been Atata. Yeah. So this is definitely going to be interesting. Starting off on Battlefield.
A lot of them are just like gaining their footing.
I'm noticing anytime that Ixis has been trying to spin dash or do any of that kind of stuff in, as soon as S1 lands, just throws out an air, and that usually is enough to stuff it. It either stuffs or trades with it. I feel like that's really strong.
Sonics have to deal with the fact that a lot of their moves are, I wouldn't necessarily say laggy, but they're just a lot to them sometimes, and like if they can find a way to toss out their moves in a safe manner, or like kind of mix it up, like I feel like it's going to be good for them, obviously. So, but we'll see how S1 reacts with falling up air.
Yep, that move right there is going to save S1 in a lot of scenarios. And that had me scared too. That had me scared too. But yeah, that up air, it's got a deceptively huge hitbox, and it's got a pretty good amount of priority on it. So it's one of those moves where you think you can test it most times, but it's just, yeah, it's impossible. Nessa's just got too strong of a head. See, like right there, that was a cross-up falling up air.
Both these Earthbound characters have some strong heads.
Yeah.
Both of them are really good at what they do, and it's a very intense match here, even for the first stock, first game.
You could tell that Ixis, though, he kind of played this song and dance before, because he's still, even though he's playing from the down position, he is still biding his time, and he's still playing very patient. He's not really panicking at all at these super high percents. I mean, there's a little bit of shakiness there, but it's not straight up panic like you could see from some players.
You know, I've always been afraid with Sonic with Rage. I mean, granted, every character's crazy with Rage, but I would say Sonic is one of those characters that benefit off of that mechanic very, very well.
I saw the PK Thunder come in and then just decide to back off ledge. That's one thing. Sonic's ledge game is kind of neutered a little bit because of that option.
And I love how S1 is just making sure that he does that almost every time. And because for the most part, Sonic's going to want to try to stay on stage.
Yeah, no, it's keep away. It's
like it is beautiful. So, and it's going to force Sonic to react, and a missed grab was going to be his stock.
Reaching too far forward, that's going to cost you, especially at that kind of high percent. And now this is where it gets scary. Nest combos can hurt with Rage. Like we saw with Aztec, it just took 3 up airs to bring S1 back into like even percent with him. Although that, not going to close it out. Battlefield saving yet another life.
Great SD or S.
It was good DI.
Yeah, good DI from S1 for sure.
Also, that pivot grab, that was really clean too.
Ooh.
Oh, but dashed right into the fist. That was running right into a punch. Like I was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna knock this guy out. But then you accidentally just run into your punch, and he hits you right in the right place. So just like, okay.
I believe when he does that, Sonic kind of like pushes back his hurt box.
Yeah.
So
there's a little bit of lean back on it. So if you think that you can punish it, that means that it's just going to whiff. And well, that's what we call a whiff punish.
If S1 can try getting back his footing, and
no,
Ooh.
Up air once again, just throwing the wrench in Ixis's pressure. And anytime that he just tries an approach, if it's not on point 100%, although that was such a capitalization off stage. I've seen him do that several, like...
Yeah, this is probably like the 3rd time I've seen him do it in this tournament alone.
Like, it's always situations like that where he recognizes his win condition immediately, and his execution on that has been pretty close to 100%. Like, it's been locked down. That was really, really nice. So that's, I mean, he's showing that comeback factor. Like you said, like I have not watched it, but you said that, you know, he like went all the way from a loser's run to a bracket reset to get to Midwest Mayhem. So yeah, showing a little bit about that prowess. I like that.
Something that I'm like noticing is that he's actually really good at adapting.
Yeah,
He's
no.
adapting really, really well, and not just to like his European friends and but here in Chicago, he's making sure that his adaptation with our players is insane.
Yeah.
And game 1 will always be playing footsies, and game 2 is like, I got this guy's number, you know. So.
And speaking of which, that is exactly what's going on right now. He's only got the milk percent going on right now. Meanwhile, just one string after another, and S1's already at 76%, and he's still going.
That's what I'm trying to get his footing in, but it doesn't seem like Sonic's having it at all.
Yeah, Ixis has now got his game plan locked in, and he's got the adaptation pretty dialed in. This is now S1 needs to kind of just calm down, get his game plan started as soon as possible, because he's now playing super on the back foot. Although this right here could
be, no.
No, it's very smart recovery from Ixis.
If he continues like pressure like that,
Yeah, he's also, anytime that he's trying to challenge Ness, he's really not afraid of the double jump cancel.
No.
Like, S1 has been doing that to get himself out of a lot of situations and to get a lot of things started, because it's kind of freezing people up before they come in. Ixis not really showing any fear on that. He's just, you know, all right, if you're going to stall in the air, I'll just come up and meet you, bro.
So you can tell that the things that was working for game 1 are now kind of really not working for game 2, and that's just because Ixis is just, like I said, he just adapts really, really well, and you can tell that he's kind of showing that confidence. He's showing that I'm not afraid of your Ness combos.
Yeah, and this is also another factor, like, that just goes into Sonic, is that as soon as they get that kind of stuff dialed in, the rushdown game becomes much harder to deal with. Like, that's what makes Static Manny so good, is that he is so good at rushdown that if he adapts on you game 2, he knows what he needs to do to not let you breathe at all, and that's exactly what Ixis is doing right here.
Comebacks can happen, and like you said, if he tosses
Rage,
the right amount of wrenches.
Rage Ness is scary. You can't sleep, but if Ixis still continues this game plan, it will be his to win. But then again, once again, all it really takes is just a couple of Ness strings, and it's Ixis' game to lose. So as long as he's kind of stays patient while he's putting on all this pressure, just like that, and just like that, that was a pretty convincing 2-stock, only not getting above 100%, and now he's 2 games up. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That was textbook. That's what adaptation with Sonic kind of looks like at its close to its most optimal level. Like I said, that's what Static Manny does all the time to people. Like, if he loses a game, he's really good at analyzing what he did wrong and what they're doing wrong, and just automatically just the puzzle pieces fall into place, and he just knows what he needs to do. So that's like, okay, if he's continuing to do this, I'm just going to put so much pressure on him that it's just not going to work. He can't do that anymore. Yeah. It's my game now. I'm deciding this is my game now.
Ixis is really good at his craft, you know, showing what his character can't do, even like in terms of his range and spacing himself out. S1 taking 2 back airs, 3 back airs in a row, 4. It's just, this is back air city.
Yeah, it's looking like Cloud, back air city. It's a lot of back airs, a lot of S1 having the momentary positioning and then just immediately getting off stage. I mean, it's hard. Like, this is showing all the trials and tribulations that Ness has. Like, in terms of pressure like this, Ness really doesn't have a solid out of shield option. So it's making, you know, passes like this really hard to kind of defend against. And as soon as you get off stage, Ness, in terms of recovery, if you get him into the right path, it's very linear, so you can keep track of it. You can't, I mean, you can guard it, but you can more or less keep track of it. And this is just a clinic from Ixis.
So
right
it's funny that we have like these memes of like, oh, Sonic players just playing this campy, what, you know, that type of play style. But
no. That
what a turnaround.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's
what a turnaround.
that was one situation where he was trying to avoid it at all time, but just kind of got scared of all the other options and went way too low. And the stage was also tilting against him, so
yeah,
you know,
Yeah,
I like coming into that a little bit, but you know, it's fine.
But yeah, but like, you know, these Sonics playing so campy and, you know, playing these 20-minute sets and like
I mean,
it doesn't seem like he's that kind of he's not that kind of Sonic, and B, he knows his character so well that he's like, yeah, I can play aggressive. What's the point of that?
Yeah, granted, I will say, granted that, I mean, some Sonics do play like that to win, but a lot of the top Sonics, I mean, if you look at the list, you look at 6WX, you look at Supergirl Kells,
Ken.
you look at Ken, you look at Manny, they know how to play Rushdown. It's not all just sit back and spin dash. It is knowing how to ramp up your offense to the point where it can get super oppressive like that. And you know, I mean, I like to say, people like you mentioned, it's like all the memes, like all Sonic players play campy. It's a meme for a reason, because it's a meme for a reason.
Well, we can see if S1 wants to take another quick stock like he did the first time around, but Sonic is just trying to like keep everything he can, just everything he can. He's trying to toss him off and making sure that he gets proper footing himself. And now we can see the confidence coming in from S1.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his ledge game back, and he's definitely analyzed what he's doing wrong, at least in terms of neutral exchanges. Anytime that he's been off stage, oh no, he wanted to definitely go to ledge there. That's kind of a heartbreaker. So Ixis with a pretty clean 3-0. They're having a little bit of a laugh, just like, you know, that's what happens, bro.
Definitely.
I don't know what was said, but Blind just turned around and just like, I don't know, man. That sounds like John's to me.
I love having new faces here at Ignition.
Yeah, no, that's good. Honestly, like, it's cool to see this kind of play style, because like you look at regions like Europe, and a lot of people that I've talked to are just like, man, you think that region is a little underdeveloped? No, they know their stuff. Like people need to.
They know their stuff, and I think more the wonkier type cast comes from Europe.